Minasan konnichiwa. Welcome back to TDNihongoHUB. Today we are going to talk about something very important and sensitive. Japanese funerals. Whether you are living in Japan, have friends in Japan, or are just curious about Japanese culture, understanding funeral customs is essential. In this video, we are going to cover everything from what to wear, how to behave, the incense offering ritual, money envelopes, and even what to say. So, without talking much, let's begin this respectful journey into Japanese funeral traditions. Let's start with the basics. What should you expect at a Japanese funeral? 日本の葬式は静かで礼儀正しい儀式です。In English, okay, first and the foremost, Japanese funerals are quiet, right? And solemn and ritualistic ceremonies. The atmosphere is very different from some Western funerals where people might share happy memories and laugh. In Japan, it's all about maintaining a serious, respectful tone. Most Japanese funerals are Buddhist ceremonies held at temples, attire. However, some may be held at funeral halls or even at home. The Buddhist priest plays a central role, chanting sutras throughout the ceremony. And people, and the most visible thing you will notice in a Japanese funeral is that everyone wears black. みんなは黒い服を着ますよね。This is called Mofuku, mourning attire. We'll go into more detail about what to wear later, but for now, just remember, everything should be black. This introduction slide appears multiple times in our presentation, but that's because these 3 points are absolutely fundamental to understanding Japanese funerals. Okay, now let's go back to what happens immediately after someone passes away. Understanding this sequence helps you to know what the family is going through. When someone dies, the family first course is to a funeral home called Sogisha. Okay? Funeral homes in Japan handle almost everything. So the family doesn't have to manage alone during this difficult time. And then, coffin. This is called as Reitanbo. これも大切を作りましたね。冷やします。This is sometimes called yukon or nokon in traditional settings. In this process, the body is washed, prepared, and dressed. Often in a white kimono or a suit. Then it is placed Okay, sorry for the interruption, right? So what I was telling was the body is washed, prepared, and dressed, often in a white kimono or a suit, and then it's placed on a dry iced coffee, right? This is to preserve it until the funeral. And then this is why Japanese funerals typically happen within a few days, right? This is the reason for that. And then the step 3 onto this is the notification. The funeral home helps notify family, relatives, and close acquaintances. And in Japan, when talking about that, this is often done through formal phone calls, not just text messages or social media. And for this, close friends might also help spread the news, but that's it, okay? And then the next one is the wake, Tsuya, okay? The night before the funeral, the close family members and friends gather for the wake. This is usually the last, this lasts about 1 to 2 hours in the evening. We'll talk about this in more details next. Right. And then the wake. So yeah, I was just mentioned right before this next slide. Okay, let's look at the wake. So yeah, in detail now. The wake happens the evening before the main funeral ceremony. It's typically 1 to 2 hours long and has a more intimate feeling than the funeral itself. Okay, so what happens during the wake? First, the Buddhist priest chants sutras. We call this as okyo. This chanting creates a meditative, solemn atmosphere. The family, relatives, and close friends sit in the neat rows facing the altar where the deceased's photo and coffin are placed. Right? You can imagine the atmosphere at a funeral by this. Okay, this is what I mentioned right now. And then finally, at the end of the wake, there's a very important moment, that is incense offering. Each attendee approaches the incense stand one by one to offer the incense. This is called Shoko. We'll dedicate an entire section to this because it's crucial to do it correctly. That's a really important ritual in Japanese funerals. After the wake, there's often a small reception where guests share a meal and offer condolences to the family. This is more relaxed, but still it's respectful, right? Okay. Then, when talking about the next day, which comes the main event, right? The funeral ceremony itself is called as Sōshiki. This usually takes place around midday. The ceremony is more formal than the wake, with more guests attending. Co-workers, acquaintances, the community members who weren't at the wake are coming to this. And here's how the ceremony typically flows. First, more sutra chanting by the priest. This can last about 30 to 45 minutes depending on the Buddhist sect. And then next, the prayers from the family, the immediate family, it could be a spouse, children, parents. They will offer prayers and incense first to the deceased person. And then the prayers from friends and the acquaintances is the next in the flow. This is when you will be invited to offer incense if you are attending as a guest. Okay, and then finally, incense offering by all guests one by one. This is the main participatory element of the ceremony. Everyone will have a turn to approach the altar and offer incense. Throughout the ceremony, silence is observed. No talking, no whispering, just respect quietly. Okay, so this is an image. You can have an idea about this. Now, this is perhaps the most important part of the entire video. The incense offering, or Shoko. This is something you will almost certainly do if you attend a Japanese funeral. Let me walk you through it step by step. How to offer incense. Shokoの仕方についてちょっと話しましょうね。はい。Step 1. Okay. Stand up from your seat and bow slightly. This shows respect before approaching the altar. And then walk quietly and slowly to the incense stand. Don't rush. Keep your hands at your sides or slightly clasped in front. Okay? このように線香台の前に行きます。Next step. Using your thumb, index, and middle finger, pinch a small amount of incense powder. This is called koryo. Don't take too much, just a small pinch, okay? Remember it. And then as the next step, bring the incense to your forehead level. This is a gesture that shows that you are offering it with sincere respect and prayer. And then gently drop the incense into the burner. Don't throw it or scatter it, just let it fall naturally. And then put your hands together in the prayer position. This is called gasho. Bow your head slightly and offer a silent prayer for the deceased. Bow once more, then quietly return to your seat. This is it, right? Here's the most important tip. Drop your pinch of incense. Do not rub it between your fingers, because in Japanese culture, rubbing is considered disrespectful. Just let it fall naturally, okay? Remember it, it's really important. Some funerals use stick incense instead of powder. In that case, you hold the stick bowl, place it in the incense holder, and then do gasho. Follow what others do. Okay, so in that case it's a bit different, but still normal thing is what I told you before. Okay, and then let's move to the next slide. You can take a glance at that incense or the ritual, right? It's here. That's how it performs, right? Okay, these are some pictures I grabbed from the websites. Just have a glance and have an idea how this goes on. Okay, the next we are going to talk about the crematorium exterior and the other ash collection and things like that, Kotsuage. Okay, so after the funeral ceremony, it comes the cremation. In Japan, cremation is almost universal. Over 99% of funerals end in cremation, even in Sri Lanka. Okay, only the family goes to the crematorium. If you are a friend or an acquaintance, your participation ends after the funeral ceremony, and don't follow the family unless specifically invited for the crematorium or the cremation process. Okay, when talking about the cremation, the body is cremated, which is taken about 1 to 2 hours. During this time, the family might have a small meal together while waiting. And then, these are the facts that I told to you. Okay, these are some pictures. You can have a look on them. And then comes one of the most unique and meaningful rituals, Kotsuage, the bone collection. After cremation, the family gathers around the cremation tray using special chopsticks, and here's important, the family members use chopsticks to pick up bones and pass them to each other. They carefully transfer the bones into an urn. Okay, this is also a very important ritual because this is done in a special order, usually starting with the feet bones and moving upward to the head bones. The largest piece, often the throat bone, is nodobotoke, is placed the last. Okay, this ritual is so significant that it's the reason why you should never pass food from chopstick to chopstick in Japan. Okay, it reminds people of this funeral ritual, so that's why we are asked not to do that, okay, when taking your meals. The bones are preserved in an urn which the family keeps at home or places in the family grave. And then we are going to talk about the next slide, money offering, which is Koden. Okay, let's talk about the money, especially the condolence money is called Koden, as I told to you at the topic introduction. Guests bring Koden to either the wake or the funeral. The money helps the family cover funeral expenses, which in Japan, this can easily cost 2 to 3 million yen or more. Okay, so that helps them. When talking about the rules for the Kōden, first thing is you have to put the money in a special envelope, which we called as Boshu Gibukuro. They are usually white with black and silver ribbons or cords. You can buy them at convenience stores or stationery shops. It's mentioned right here, okay? And then remember to use new crisp bills. Wrinkled or old bills suggest you didn't prepare properly. In Japan, you can get new bills especially for occasions like this at banks or post offices. And then remember to write your name on the front of the envelope. Write clearly and in full. You are representing a company. If you are representing some special institute, some person, write both your name and the company name, okay? And then hand it directly to a family member at the reception desk. There will be a designated person, often a close family friend or funeral home staff, collecting envelopes, and don't put it on a table or hand it casually, okay? And when talking about the much amount that you should put in, this depends on your relationship, right? So this is an extra fact before talking about the attire. Usually for co-workers, it's about 3,000 to 5,000 yen. For friends, 5,000 to 10,000 yen. For relatives, 10,000 to 50,000 yen or more, right? So avoids amounts with the number 4 because she sounds like death, shinu, okay? So, and also 9 because ku sounds like suffering. So remember to avoid those numbers, and you can offer your the money envelope, okay? And then what to wear. This is what the slide is about, right? Mofuku. When talking about that, Japanese mourning attire has a bit specific rules to the comparative to the other countries' funerals, okay? So the first thing is that for family members, everything should be black. Men wear black suits, black ties, white shirts, and black shoes. Women should wear black dresses or black kimono if it's a traditional funeral, and accessories should be minimal. And then black suits for men, black dresses for the skirt suits for the women. Men should wear black or possibly white ties. Women's accessories, remember, they should be simple, and there should be no sparkly jewelries, no diamonds, no colorful scarves, right? Only black or white pearls are acceptable, but remember, no sparkly jewelries. And then when talking about shoes, black non-shiny leather shoes are okay. No patent leather, no buckles, no decorations. Women should wear plain black pumps with low heels. So when talking about the bags, they should be small, black, plain, no logos or patterns are possible, okay? So what not to wear when talking about that? No colorful clothing, even dark blue or dark gray isn't black enough, okay? So remember that. No fur, even if it is real, it looks so luxurious, so no fur. And no flashy makeups, no perfume, strong scents are inappropriate in this occasion. No watches or jewelry except the simple pearls. Okay, and if you are unsure, remember, when in doubt, go simpler and darker, right? If you are in doubt, just in case, okay? And then we are going to talk about the period of mourning after the funeral. Japanese mourning doesn't end with the funeral. There are specific periods of mourning that follow in Japanese culture. First thing is the first 49 days, which we call as Shijuku Nichi. Shijuku Nichi. これもとても大切な期限ですよね。家族はお酒や音楽を控える時間です。This is the most important mourning period. In Buddhist belief, the soul wanders for 49 days before reaching its next destination. During this time, the family avoids celebrations, loud music, parties, and sometimes even watching television. They might visit the grave frequently during these 49 days, first 49 days. And then the first Obon, we call this as Hoi or Hatsubun, the first summer after the death. During the Obon festival, when spirits are believed to return, the family welcomes the deceased spirit for the first time. This is a significant memorial event. I have done a video on Obon festival and how it goes on. So when it comes to this first Obon, it's a bit different, and it's with so many hard, sensitive emotions, right, at this moment, rather than usual Obon festival. And there are annual ceremonies in Japan after when it comes to after the funeral, when it comes to the period of mourning. The memorial services are usually held at specific anniversaries. First anniversary after actually after the 1 year has passed, 3rd, 7th, 13th, 17th, 23rd, 27th, and 33rd anniversary, often the final memorial. Okay. After the 33rd or 50th anniversary, the deceased is considered to have joined the ancestors, and regular memorials may stop with that. So that's how it goes. Okay. And then knowing what you say at a Japanese funeral is crucial. Here are some key phrases that you need to know and say. First thing is, Gokuro sama deshita. You have worked hard for the deceased, right? This means you have worked hard and thank you for your efforts, right? Sōshiki no ato de kazoku ni iimasu ne. Kore wa kazoku ni iu aisatsu desu. You say this to family after the funeral, acknowledging how difficult this time has been for them. It's one of the most common things you will hear at Japanese funerals. And the next thing is, この旅はご重葬様でした。わかりますね。ご愁傷様でした。This is said by the family to thank guests for the condolences. It means something like, thank you for coming to the funeral during this difficult time. If you attend a funeral, you'll hear the family say this as they greet the guests. And then the three pages to know and say. The next one is, Gomenfuku o onozomi moshi agemasu. This is a formal prayer, meaning we pray for the peaceful rest of the soul. It's appropriate to say this when offering incense or when greeting the family. It's very polite and shows proper respect to the family and the deceased person. And then, Okitsura deshita. It was a sudden shocking loss. Use this if the death was unexpected. An accident or sudden illness, something like that, you can use it. It expresses sympathy for the shock the family must be feeling. And then avoid phrases like, I understand how you feel, or it's for the best. In Japanese funeral context, just offer simple respectful condolences I mentioned, right? If you're not familiar with the culture. And as for the summary, let's wrap up the things, the key points to remember about Japanese funerals. The point one is, be solemn and quiet. Japanese funerals are not social events. No laughing, no loud, no talking, almost no loud talkings. Okay, actually, no loud talkings, no phone calls. Silence shows respect. Remember that. And then dress in all black. When in doubt, wear the simplest, darkest formal wear you have. Plain is better than stylish here. And then remember how to offer incense. Practice the steps: stand, approach, pinch, bring to forehead, drop, pray, bow, return. And never rub the incense. Bring the Koden in a special envelope with new bills. Don't forget to write your name clearly. And bow and say Gokuro sama deshita to the family, a simple bow, and this praise go a long way. And remember, the funerals are about supporting and grieving family. Your presence, your respect, and your proper behavior are the most important things you can offer. So, arigatou gozaimasu. Thank you for watching this guide to Japanese funerals. If you found this helpful, and please give this video a thumbs up, okay? And subscribe to TDNihongoHUB for more future videos and Japanese language and also about culture. If you found this helpful, please give a thumbs up as I told you earlier, because it means a lot to me. It encourages me to do more videos, right, about Japanese language and culture. And please comment below, have you ever attended a Japanese funeral? Or do you have any questions about anything we covered? Leave a comment below. We'd love to hear more from you. Next time, we'll talk about Japanese wedding customs. Much happier topic. So make sure to hit that notification bell so that you get notified when I hit the video. Thank you for being with me until the end.